Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again for another oh-so-delicious list where I take a specific category and then I rank every game in that list. And today I'm very excited to be talking about my top 23 AEG games of all time. AEG stands for Alderac Entertainment Group. Fun fact if you didn't know that. But I'm going to be talking about the 23 games of theirs that I have played, and I'm going to be rating them from the great to the good, to the forgettable good, to the meh, to the forgettable bad, to the bad, which is a special category for games that are just oh so bad, and they burned a memory into my brain of why they were bad. Now, a new thing I'm going to try out this week is I'm going to be using the greatest board game website of all time, BoardGameGeek.com, and for the ones that are, like, forgettable, I'm going to look up a little bit of them, and hopefully that'll refresh my memory. Maybe I'll just watch a teeny tiny snippet of my review to get a see what the number was. But we're going to start with Oath of the Brotherhood. I got strong opinions on this one. So this should be in the great category. It really should. It is a great game. It's a lot of fun. It's a game, the more you play it, the more rewarding it is. However, it goes into the... I hate to do it. I don't want to do bad. I don't want to do bad. But the rule booklet was abysmal. It was absolutely atrociously terrible, frustrating. I think I still gave it like a 7, but the rule booklet was ugh. So for that, I'm going to have to put it in the meh. I gotta go meh. If every time I revisit a game, you know, after 6, 8, 10 months, I have to go through a bad rule booklet, are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it that third time? You'll do it so you'll play it the first time, you'll remember, oh, that rule booklet was bad. The second time you'll do it again, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's why we didn't play this for a long period, because the rule booklet was god-awful. Do you ever get to the third time? I don't feel like most people get to the third time, and for that, I have to put Oath of the Brotherhood into the meta category. Now, if this has been reprinted with a new rule booklet, then it actually goes into the great category, because it's a really cool worker placement game, with just tons of stuff going on. The one thing I did not like about it, though, was... there was something with the game, and I don't quite remember what it was, where you had to explain every single action, like every single little piece of symbology before you could start the game. And I remember that was a little bit of a drag, but Oath of the Brotherhood is a great game, but unfortunately with a god-awful rule booklet. And for that, it goes in the meh category. Next we have Dice City, a game that I really thought was great the first time I played it, and then I was super excited to play it the next time, and I thought, oh yeah, this is still really good. And then I played it a third time, I was like, yeah, this is still really good. And then every time I play it, it's one of those games that I feel like it needs an expansion. You're going to want expansions for this. But that being said, it's still a very good game, and I feel like if I had played the expansions, because I know there are expansions with this, because I don't actually... It's kind of confusing with me and AEG. We're kind of like an off-again, on-again relationship type of thing. Pretty much, I see him at conventions, things get hot, interviews happen, lots of interviews with Todd, and then, like, he says, hey, come back Sunday, we'll see what we got left in the inventory, we'll throw you something, and I say, okay, Todd, I'll see you on Sunday. It's great, and then I come on Sunday, they give me the big bag, they hook me up with some review copies, that sort of thing, it's great. But when it comes to emails, like, we don't email each other back and forth. You know, every relationship I have with different companies is different. So maybe I should start mentioning that. I don't know. I don't know if people like that, but sort of behind the scenes things. But Dice City, very good game. Very good, highly recommended. Pretty much, you're going to roll dice, and there's going to trigger different buildings in your Dice City, which is your little personal board where you're going to be putting cards on there. And so what cards you put on there are going to have different impacts. It almost has a Space-Best Ace-X feel. And I'll be quite frank here. I feel like part of the reason, now that I really think about it, why Dice City has taken such a hit in my mind might not be because it needs an expansion, which I think you still are going to want it. It might be because Space Base, I think, kicks its ass, and I think it does. I think it's just a better game, and it feels somewhat similar now that I'm really saying it out loud. Now, Dice City is different enough, and I would still honestly have both of them in my collection, but I don't know if I'm ever going to Dice City over Space Base. Spoilers! Space Base is going to be really high on this list. But it's still a very good game. No, they're not very good. I'm going to put this in the great, is War Chest. War Chest is one of my favorite abstract strategy games of all time. Yeah, there is a theme, and it's like, oh, your poker chip is the archer, so it does a different thing. But this, quite honestly, if you wanted a gamery version of chess, this is it. War Chest is absolutely spectacular. It is my favorite abstract strategy game of all time, if we're calling it that. It goes 2 or 4 players. You got all sorts of different things, and your units are done by these really nice poker chips that move around the board, and they all have their own different quirks and quarks. There's another, like, big box expansion, because it comes in, like, a really odd magnetic class box, but it's a great game. Very underrated game. I don't hear enough people talk about it. And the people I do hear talk about it, rave about it. And that's War Chest. Check this one out. Great, great game. And looky there, AEG, 3 for 3 on very good to great. You know, Oath of the Brotherhood's rule booklet didn't stick the landing, but still, gameplay-wise, dang fun. So let's go knock it down a peg. Let's knock him down a peg. Let's talk about Mad Science Expo. Because I'll be quite frank, I remember one thing about Mad Science Expo, and only one thing about Mad Science Expo, and that was that the box is obnoxiously large for what comes in the game. That's the only thing I remember about it. I think it was actually a pretty stinking good game, if I recall correctly. Let's see my excitement level. Did I have a number back then? What's he gonna say? What's he gonna say? What are you gonna say? Talk to me. What's gonna happen? This game has to be simple. What? No.
Let's go to the pros. Let's go to the cons. First, on the con side, game's not gonna be for
Okay, so I started on the con side, which means it was a good game. I enjoyed it, because that's how my system used to work, was I always like to lead with whatever is the smallest thing I'm talking about. So I will put this in the forgettable good category, even though I do remember your stupid box, and I think that's why I got rid of the game, because it just wasn't worth the space. You know, if it came in a tuck box, it's worth the space. Come in that size box? No. Not worth it, my friend. All right, what do we got next? Rumplestiltskin. Let's keep it on rolling. This one also in the... This one's a real tough one. I think most people would honestly put this in the meh category. I don't remember too much about it. I remember it was one of those games which was like only like 7 or 8. It was a micro game. That was the other thing. Yeah, you know what? AEG, shame on you, because Rumplestiltskin should have been a damn micro game, and you know it should have been a micro game, but it came in a box. It came in a box. Like one of those boxes that can hold pretty much it was a the Crew size box. I feel like the Crew is popular enough that most people know that style box. I remember it came in a box like that. It was a really simple game. It came with like some little golden cubes, and it was just pretty much, if I recall correctly, guess the card someone has, and it was okay. You know, the kids, I played it with the kids in my class, and they absolutely adored it. Actually, this little girl named Jasmine loved this game. She was such a good kid. And as a reward one day, I just gave it to her, because I used to give kids in my class all the games that you know, I wasn't going to keep for one reason or another. That were children's games, obviously, or family games. And Rumplestiltskin, I'm looking at it from the family perspective now, and I'll give it a forgettable good. I'll slap a forgettable good on it, and we'll move along here, even though I think you do belong in the mad category, because that is a big sin to me. Use your box space properly. There's a game right now I just got, and I did an unboxing video, and I actually kind of tore into him a little bit in the unboxing video. And I said, what is this? This box is way too damn big for the cards in here, and it annoyed me. It was a 52-card deck in once again, you know, a Crew-sized box. And just, no. Wait, is the Crew 52 cards? No, but it has micro cards. I thought I was going to have to bag on the Crew there for a second. All right, anywho, Say Bye to the Villain. Very, very good. I enjoy Say Bye to the Villain, not as much as Dice City. This is a completely cooperative card game in which pretty much you have to create your character by placing down cards. It's a really quite simple game. And then you're going to have to beat bosses at the end of the game. So the whole beginning of the game is just buffing up your character and playing different cards. Then the whole end of the game is like getting ready to defeat these. And you have to defeat every single boss. And it's super terribly difficult. I've beaten it one time out of about probably 7-8 times playing this. And I enjoy it. I think it's a good cooperative game. I think it can be a little bit too random for my liking, but I enjoyed it enough that I never turn it down when other people want to play it, and I think a lot of other people would rate it a lot higher, especially the people that in my game group. So, Say Bye to the Villain, good game. AEG starting off hot here, starting off hot. Smash Up. I'll be honest with you, I played Smash Up about 3 or 4 times, and it's always just been forgettable good to me. Top of the forgettable good. I'm sure if I owned it, and like if I had expansions, maybe I'd get more into it, but it's just area control is just not my biggest bag, baby. You know, I like area control. I enjoy it. But I'm never like, man, area control. It doesn't get me excited. Like Rondell. Oh, Rondell. Oh, just saying Rondell just gets me going. Worker placement. Deck building. You know, deck construction. But worker placement, I go, or area control, I go, okay, that's cool. Smash Up. I know it's very popular. It's one of their evergreens. I know most people put it in the great category. For me, forgettable good. It never wowed me enough to make me, and I did. I had an opportunity to pick it up for once for like $20, and I picked up something else. I was just like, eh. Trains. So Trains is a game that I think is great. I do. And I was leaning towards very, very good, but I'm not. I'm gonna slap it. I'm gonna give Trains the respect I think it deserves, because Trains is a very underrated game. Now a lot of people are gonna say, you know, oh, it's just a menu with a board, and I would say, yeah, it is just a menu with a board. They say, well, that's awesome though. Like, I say it with a positive inflection. I'm a glass half clap half full kind of guy. Yeah, it's dominion with the board. But it also has like the ticket to ride aspect. I think you're really underselling it there because there's the route building aspect. And trains, I think it's just one of those games that I hate seeing it. It just kind of has gone to the wayside. It's kind of most people don't remember this game, and it's a really rock solid deck building game. The route building is awesome. It has tons and tons and tons of boards. I think they came out with 2 big box expansions and then that god awful planes, trains, and automobiles expansion where someone was like, "Hey, you know what'd be cool? Let's put all 3 expansions to 3 different games in one box." And it's like, well, but what about the people who only own like one of those? Get out of here. That expansion idea to me just seems so wacky. But anywho, great. Still a great game. Agent Hunter. Oh, man. I don't remember a dang thing about Agent Hunter. We're definitely going to have to look up this video. And while I look up this video, I'm going to talk about something that I do remember. 6.8. There you go. That's what you need to know. So that means, so my category, how I do it, and how I actually, is how Board Game does it. When I give it things numbers, it's 7 is good, 8 is great, 9 is amazing. So 6.8, man, that I thought it was less than good. So that's firmly in the meh category. Agent Hunter, that's all I need to know. And actually, I could probably look up the ratings of these. That'll make it a little bit easier, too, for me. All right, Space Base. It's great. It's one of my top 10 games of all time. I've only played through one of the expansions. I played through the one that adds, like, a campaign. And it's very, very good. It's very, very good. Some of it's a little wonky. There's one part where I feel like they jumped the shark a little bit, and it was like, okay, that was interesting. Let's never do it again. And everyone's like, yeah, let's never do that again. Let's just play regular Space. It's like yeah. So, but there's another big box expansion, which I would hope would just add more cards, and honestly, that's what you want. Space Base, super sync and simple. You roll 2 dice, and you can either use both the dice combined together or both the dice separate, and then you're going to upgrade those spots and gain different rewards and try and gain victory points, and oh, it's delightful and spectacular. If you've never played Space Base, it is absolutely delicious board gaming fun. So far, so good. Look at that. That is a solid track record right there, AEG. Lost Legacy. This one, another micro game. I gotta tell you, AEG just went absolutely buck wild with the Legacy games for a while. And they actually had one that I don't even think is on here. Did I forget to put one on there? It was like Steam. It came in a brown bag. Dang it, I gotta find that game. I'll talk a little bit about it later. So Lost Legacy, unfortunately I haven't ranked it, and here's the problem with it. It's so damn confusing. Like, which one of these is it? There's Lost Legacy, there's the Starship, there's the Flying Garden, there's the second choice, the Third Chronicle, the Hayakon Senso. Like, and I remember actually thinking this at one point as well. Like, is this some sort of popular IP I don't know about? So, wow, they ranked at $17.99. But what did I say? I don't even remember. And for that, I'm going to go with Forgettable Good. Because I know it's good. I remember enjoying it. I still own it. It's a micro game in the same ilk of Love Letter. And I'd rather play it than Rumplestiltskin. And that honestly, this I still own. These, everything below it, I don't still own. So I feel like that list so far, accurate. Archer, once you go blackmail, great. And you're like, really? And I say, yes. It is, in my personal opinion, the best version of Love Letter. And it's not the most in-depth version of Love Letter. That actually goes down here to Lovecraft Letter, which I don't think is better than Archer Love Letter. But if you're still looking for the very simplistic, Love Letter formula, which it is. It's a very light, simple micro game, as this is. Once again, this comes in a box, though! But I give it a pass because I love Archer. But it doesn't need to come in a box. Come in a bag. It'd be great. But, anywho, this one actually has some other quirky things thrown in there to just make the game better. I don't actually remember what those quirky things are, but if you like Love Letter, if you like Archer, this is a game you need to get. I can tell you that much. It's great. All right. What do we got? Say bye to the villains again. We already rated that one. That one's. Wait, did I not put it up there? No, it's up there. Okay. Screw up. Love Letter. So Love Letter is a hard one for me. My initial knee-jerk reaction is great. Because I have played Love Letter, and I am not exaggerating here, at least 100 times. Not exaggerating. Now, granted, this was one of my go-to games when I used to do this this thing called the Aaron's House Camp. There's this place that I volunteer in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where it's where kids essentially have lost their mother, their fathers, their brothers or sisters, and they go there and they just kind of express their grief and kind of just get the feeling of, oh, we're not by ourselves. And they have these camps. 3 times a year we got camps. There's a family camp, there's a teen camp, and then there's a summer camp, which is just supposed to be like super summer fun. And I do all the camps. I love doing the camps. Great weekends. But one of my go-to games that I played with probably about 50 kids at these camps is Love Letter. Not to mention I used to play it in my classroom all the time. I used to take it with me on field trips. It is just one of my go-to games. I can't always bring Archer, because Archer has a little bit of a darker theme for the classroom. But Love Letter, my initial reaction is great. But at the same time, Archer, Once You Go Blackmail, is just a better game. Like, it is, in my opinion, it completely replaces Love Letter for me, except in certain situations where I don't want to have the Archer theme. And so for that, I have to bump it down to the very, very good. Because it's all but run place for me. Just the same way as I would put Caverna up here and Agricola right here. I cannot, in good conscience, put Love Letter in the great category because, you know, it's still very, very good, and it's such a simple game. But yeah, can't do it. Mariposas. This one. Good. It's good. I'm going to put it here. Bottom of the good for me. I know a lot of people love this game. It's about butterflies going up and then coming back down and trying to score points, and they have to go different places to get different things. I didn't feel like the game... You know what? I want to put it in forgettable good, but to be honest with you, the theme is propping it up into good. And the theme will continue to prop it up into good because it's such a distinctive theme. Like, look, let's look at the rest of the themes. Oh, spaceships. Look, abstract strategy. There's a knight and an archer. Oh, cool, building train routes. Oh, spy stuff. Generic, you know, that time period. Cool, whatevs. Oh, look, I'm building another city and rolling dice. Oh, cool, beating bad guys. Oh, butterflies going up and migrating and breeding. Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. You looked at, and it's such an interesting theme, and the gameplay I thought was good. There's like a board where you have to go around and collect these cards, but it just seems insanely random and difficult, and that's why I honestly don't like the game that much. I gave it to my buddy. But Mariposas is still good. I mean, I'd play it again. If there was an expansion, I'd be excited to play it. It's just, I also didn't like, it just ends in a weird way for me personally, but still a good game. Those are nitpicks. Next one, we got Point Salad. Point Salad is so dang good, and I'm going to put it, honestly, at the top of, you know what, Love Letter, I got to be respectful. Dice, I'd rather play Dice City all day than you. But Point Salad is a very good drafting game where quite literally you are just drafting different things in a salad and they score points in a different way. It sounds like one of those stupid games that should be really, really dumb. Like there was a deck builder game that came out years ago that nobody talks about. I'm going to guess it was probably crap. And you would expect this game to be that, but it's not. It's actually very, very good. And I've only played it twice, so I'm not willing to put it into the great category yet, but honestly, I'm leaning more towards great. It is fun, and it's just a really, really solid game. Cat Lady. All right, Cat Lady, I hate to do this to you. No, I'm going to put this in good. I was going to put it in forgettable good, but now that I'm thinking about it, I remember more. So, Cat Lady is a game all about, there's a grid out there, and you're collecting cats, and you're trying to collect cat toys, and you know what? I got to go to the forgettable good. Wow, this breaks my heart. This breaks my heart, because Cat Lady also has very fond memories with me. In particular, I remember, once again, the little girl that I gave this game to, her name was Mackenzie, and she adored this freaking game. We played this game probably 10 times in about a 2-week span at one point because she was so into this game and the after-school program. And it was really simple, and it was good and enjoyable, and almost, honestly, it would be at the top of the very good. And I would still own it. But I gave it to her. And this was one of the few games. I normally did not give them games that I really, really liked. And this one, I did. Which should tell you a lot about, no, it shouldn't. It should tell you about the game. The game's really, really good. Alright. Straw. Very simple tuck box style game. Thank you, AEG, for actually giving us a game that fits in the correct box. But AEG, it was a really simple card laying game where essentially you're laying down, I think they were numbered cards, and they were adding up, and they eventually someone was going to play the straw, the last card, that would break the camel's back, and I think they were the only people who lose the game or something like that. It's a really fun game. I enjoy it. I actually enjoy this a good deal, and I would love to own this game one day. And I would like to go back and revisit it more than Love Letter. Wow. That says a lot. I gotta take that in. Drink that one in. Look at that. No forgettable bad. No, bad rule booklet, but man, impressive. Oh, here we go. Game of Crowns. No, it wasn't Forgettable Bad. It was just, I don't remember anything about this game. I played this game twice at Gen Con, and it was supposed to be the new hotness. I remember it went up to like 7 or 8 players, which really excited me about it. And I remember not really... Like, I played it the first time, and I think I really enjoyed it. And then I played it again later that weekend, and I remember being like, wow, okay, I've seen everything this game has. I don't remember anything about this game, but I remember not being overly enthralled by it. So, yeah, you're down here in the Ancient Hunter category. Let's actually check, did I rank that one? Game of Crowns. Did I give it a ranking? Is it lower than 6.8? I did not. Ooh! Ooh! Oh, if you are not familiar with Board Game Geek, that is very low. That is a low number. Woo! 19,660th. That is where it's ranked. Wow. I'm pretty sure I did a video on this. I kind of want to go. Yeah, there's... Look at that. Okay. Little Easter egg. At the very end of this, since we're almost over, I'm going to see exactly what I thought about that. The Adventurers. The Temple of Deshox. I hope this is the right one. This is a really cool little game where you have this cool little mini, and you're trying to get out of the temple, but there's like a ball rolling past you, and it's actually a physical ball a la Indiana Jones. That was it, Indiana Jones. And I remember having a good deal of fun with this when I first got into the hobby, and it's lighter, it's simpler, but it's still a fun little game, and I would rather play it than Mariposas. Alright, Lovecraft Letter. This one. I think most people would have this in the good category. I will say that. And I for whatever reason, I played this 3 times, and it just didn't do it for me. I don't remember what it was either. So I'm going to go with the meh. I hate to do it to you. But I don't, and it was just, I remember it had all sorts of different cards that you could sub in, and I think my main issue was, it just, I loved the simplicity of Love Letter, and it just, I didn't want to go much deeper with the basic formula, I think was it. Whereas with Coup, Coup also had one, Reformation 14, it was some stupid name. They had a stupid name for it, the expansion. It wasn't an expansion, it was actually like a standalone game that had like 40 rolls. That style game, there was enough meat there that I dug it, but with this one, I just felt like, you know what? I was fine with the proper amount of Love Letter that I had before in my Archer Love Letter. So this one, to me, it just went a little bit too far. But you know what? But honestly, this one would definitely be one that I would recommend trying, because I think most people that I've talked to about this game have put it into the good category. All right. Istanbul, the dice game. I've never actually played the original game. I know, it's a sin. The dice game is really fun. I really, really enjoy the dice game. There's lots of different tracks, different choices, interesting choices, dice rolling. There's there's little gems that are in it too, and it's a very good game. And I still own this game, one that I would recommend. I'd love to know I'd love to see if there's an expansion for this one. And let's see, I would rather get this one to the table than... Nah, I still like Straw. Plus, Straw is so stupid simple. All right, so last one. We already did say bye to the villains. Trainmaker. All right, now this one, I do believe I gave this one a preview, which means that I was not particularly impressed with this one. Because I remember I did a Kickstarter prototype video for this. Oh, 7. Okay, I put it in the good category. I might have given it a preview because... Or maybe I did. Yeah, preview. Normally when I give a Kickstarter preview, that means that I have too many cons, and I don't think they would like the amount of cons that I have. So I just talk about the game in general. So yeah, this one was... No, but I had it at 7, so it was good. It was good to me. It was good. Forgettable good. No, I remember. You rolled dice and you completed trains. No, forgettable good. We can't go there. And I'd rather play it than Smash Up. I'd rather play Smash Up than it. So there you go. Those are my top 23 AEG games of all time. Now, I'm very interested to see what I had to say about Game of Crowns. Because, like I said, I think I actually enjoyed it the first time I played it. So there we go. Space Base, War Chest, Trains, and Archer. Great, but nothing in the Forgettable Bad. But I'm curious, what did I say about this? And you gotta love the professionalism. What is this thumbnail? We are laying... Oh my goodness. But I will say, though, part of the reason why I look like that is because at Gen Con, my schedule is insane. I am not exaggerating when I say I am either walking or working for about 18 hours a day. maybe 19 or 20 on some days. And if you're newer to the channel, you'd be like, what? No, he's using hyperbole. No, I get up about 70 to 100 videos that weekend. I do 70 to 100 interviews. And this was, so we played the game, and now this is the impression. Woo, look at that. Fancy. All right.
Our sponsor below made this all possible. But today we're going to be doing an impression video of Game of Crowns, the new game from AEG.
You can hear the... Oh, this is another great thing I love about Gen Con. We shoot videos wherever we can shoot videos. Like, I don't give a damn. I've shot... I think we shot one in the bathroom, and then they're like, you know what? I don't feel comfortable doing this, and we stopped doing it. But I would be totally willing to shoot in the bathroom. But that the clanking you hear is actually because they were picking up some room service. This is in a hotel.
Sit down and play a 6-player game of this. It is for Wayside just a smidge bit more than I would have liked, but just a smidge.
What did I do?
Victory points. The theme was there, but I felt like it kind of fell to the wayside just a smidge bit more than I would have liked. But multiple different paths to victory.
So, fun fact, very fun fact, that's my brother-in-law, AJ, who luckily we are really cool now. But by the end of this weekend, he actually left Gen Con early and said, "You're dead to me." Like, that, things went really awry that weekend. Now we're cool, and everything's good. I'm going over for Mother's Day tomorrow. He doesn't come over to game night anymore. But man, that was a crazy weekend. Anywho.
Victory, essentially, on your turn, you're going to only have one of two actions. You're either going to play a card from your...
Just give me your opinions.
Very simple. You play over 3 rounds. There's different variants where you can play more rounds. But initial thoughts on the game, AJ?
You only play 3 rounds. That's it.
No, there's an alternate variant where if you flip the card around, you play a little bit longer, which I think I actually would have liked it a little bit better.
We should have done that, yeah.
But what were your thoughts on the game, though?
There's not enough uniqueness in it. Each different class or...
Boom! That's exactly what I just said in my thoughts. Pretty much I remember saying the second time, wow, I've seen everything here.
Yeah, I do want to mention that we were playing this with... which might have been deeper in the rule booklet. I wasn't holding on to the rule booklet. I liked it, but it could have been better. This is what...
Wow. Okay, so I actually remember a lot more about that game than I thought. And that's really fascinating to me, because I was just going to put it in the... so yeah, I remember playing it the first time being like, oh, this is a neat little thing. And then the second time being like, oh, okay. There's not much gameplay here. But there you go. That was a weird one. If you enjoy what I'm doing, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below as I'm trying to reach 9,000 subscribers, so my 9-year anniversary of making YouTube content. Also, in the comments below, let me know if you have any particular lists that you'd love to see, board game or otherwise related. And I do want to say a little show note. The Saturday streams are going to be a little bit more infrequent as the summer comes, because I like to take my boys camping a good deal, and they absolutely adore camping. So Saturday nights, but I'm hoping to get to at least 1 or 2 of these a month. But let me know in the comments below if there's anything in particular you would like to see. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Bye-bye! I should probably say bye-bye as I click this red button instead of now, so that way I don't have to make all this filler talk.